This is Aqua Game, a popular game in Africa played by our ancestors to entertain themselves after each day of farming.
Yes, it's great to know you're still there. It's still Flipside on independent television. And Henry was telling us about his entrepreneurial experience during his IT. Yeah, take it from there.
So as I was saying, I did entrepreneurship during my holidays in school. Okay. So I go to a workshop to learn more about my course. So that was based on engineering aspects. But currently, after graduation, and I was interested in another craft, so which is the one I'm currently doing. And like I said, it's all about having an idea, then after having the idea, you go for the skill, which I'm currently doing. So that is the important aspect of entrepreneurship is meeting a value. So whatever idea one has, it has to be able to produce value and also meet the needs of people. Because a lot of times where people dive into entrepreneurship, they might not be focusing on people's need. So entrepreneurship, in as much as it's to
what if it's aimed at meeting your own personal need? Isn't it still entrepreneurship?
Yes, it's still an entrepreneurship, but it will not be commercialized. It will not be broad. It will just be yes, like a hobby. So not reaching the kind of standards or the people that you
so until it begins to solve problems.
Yes,
people's problems.
Yes, which is very, very important, because entrepreneurship is value driven. It's not
individualistic.
Yes, individualistic, because it helps the nation, it helps the economy. So, like Nigeria as a third world country that we have here, we have so many resources that we've not really tapped into. Even as much as we've tapped into it, we've not really owned it so much as to put our resources into it to produce more and also export. So it's something that we ought to look into, and especially for a young person like me and other young people. Entrepreneurship is very, very important for us. There's so much opportunities out there when it comes to entrepreneurship, and especially for the fact that we are in a digital world, which is the fast generation, fast world. So there's nothing impossible when it comes to the area of entrepreneurship when it has to do with this digital space.
Okay, so the Gen Zs are on the rise, I guess so. Now, there seems to be a proliferation, Deacon Matthew, of small and medium scale enterprises in Nigeria. So how do you think this will impact national development?
You see, there must be variety. They say variety is a species of life, or it's something how they put it. You know, we must explore different sectors. You understand? We cannot be a monopolistic driven economy. Like we've been known for exporting crude oil. You know, we are one of the countries in the world that exports their resources as crude as from nature.
It's natural.
We must add value to it. Thank God for Dangote the last time, who was able to bring a refinery, a world-class refinery, to our country. But thank God also that the kind of competition that is going on in that sector to beat the price of these stuffs down, so that everybody can go into production and it will be easy for everyone. So we must be able to explore different sectors, not just in the petroleum industry, in the health sector, education sector, then production of raw materials, producing them, adding value to them. Like in the sector we are operate, we talk about hind and skin from animal husbandry. We shouldn't just sell,
livestock,
skin as momo. So we should be able to add value to it, to create, end products as bags, belts, shoes, and all of that. So that is how it is. Beyond the leather, we talked about this textile, talk about the steel industry, fabrication, talk about, even in communication, the digital world. So we must put all of these things together, both the hard and soft skill, for us to be able to emerge. The proliferation is good, and the government, like I said earlier, should create an enabling environment for us to be able to explore all of these resources. If we do well in adding value to our raw materials, Nigeria is derogatory that by now we are still tagged as third world countries. Okay. We were together developing with China, India, Shanghai. Many of these countries has emerged. Look at Dubai the other time, country found on desert. They've been able to, redefine and, spell out their territorial space. What is wrong with us? I believe big of our problem is highly politicized. It has to do with politics. So government should be sincere, creating enabling.
So you mean to say that it's not like we do not have the capacity to achieve it?
We have the human capacity, we have the natural endowment, every of the things we have it. So it's just the willpower, the political will, of our leaders to do the needful. And you will see Nigeria will. In fact, America, I've said it the other time on radio, if we do the needful, America will seek to get our visa. Not now that they are turning, just in the news this morning we were told that they want to repatriate some Nigeria. What? Why? Somebody talked about Nigeria as sleeping giant. When a giant is sleeping, baby can come and be messing around. But when we rise up, take the bull by the horn, come out with all potency, veracity, you will see that Nigeria will take a pride of place.
I totally agree with you. After all, an adage says that a sleeping dog is better than a dead lion.
A dead lion, you see.
Anyways, I would like to ask this. There's a particular school in Benin, for example, called Benin Technical College.
Yes.
And I think that, that's, if I can recall correctly, there is a crafts arm of that school.
Yes.
Right. Now, you talked about the creative...
venture creation.
Right, venture creation. Thank you. Do you think it's possible to incorporate this into, secondary schools where you can, you get young people, like much younger people, to start exploring craftsmanship and entrepreneurship?
Yeah. As it stands now, let me start from that technical college, we have in Benin. We are partnering together. In fact, as it stands now, there's a leather session there. Okay. One of my students I taught in Bensidausa University those days is the one heading, that section, the leather section. We have fabrication, mechanical, auto mechanics, and all of that going on right there, And even to the secondary school, let me give it to this present administration of Tinubu presidency. They've been able to, water it down to the secondary school. That from, basic, how do they call it? From
kindergarten?
Post-primary.
Yeah, post-primary.
So they've started to introduce all of these skills. They even entrenched it in the curriculum last time. But beyond the syllabus, reading it in the curriculum it should be practicalized, like we are doing in the tertiary institution now. Some of these students, they are becoming big boys and big girls. To compare them at 300 level to learning. Some are zealous, some just do it lackadaisically, but by the time they begin it from post-primary, there will be that commitment. Like me, I started in my primary school days, I've started this work I'm doing now, that with which during Buhari administration, I was recognized as an ambassador representing South-South for micro, small, and medium enterprise development. So it's because of that passion, from the primary school through secondary school. I like my brother explained, talking about hobby, doing it for personal gain. Just like personal gain. When I come back from school, try to mend my own footwear, my own dress, not wanting to ask my parents, say, give me money to go and take it to cobblers and all of that. I was trying to do it my own way. So you were fixing
your own stuff yourself?
Upon coming out of the secondary school, before entering the university, I was doing it for my siblings, for co-tenants, neighbors, you know. That's how it snowballed, you know, upon, you know, before entering the university, then with professional studies, you know, university, bean cake, which is known as akara.
Yeah.
But with consistency, you see that you will do it for presidency. Even photography, you understand? Is it not somebody that is taking shots in National Assembly? Even this barbing, you see, is somebody that barbs presidency, is it not?
Of course.
So whatever you do, despise not the days of little bit, and that is how entrepreneurship starts. It snowballs, you know, with consistency. You know, that is how it is.
All right,
so
thank you.
The proliferation is good for us.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Deacon Matthew. I would like to ask you this, Henry. In what ways does entrepreneurship promote, you know, international competitiveness, like global competitiveness? Now, we all know, we're very much aware that on the nationals or on the international stage, there are lots of countries trying so hard to outdo one another, right? There's a very high level of competition. Every country is trying to, you know, stay on top of their game, especially in terms of innovativeness, creativity, technology, and all of that. So in what ways do you think entrepreneurship can help to enhance Nigeria's level of competitiveness on the global stage?
Okay. First of all, it has to do with creativity. What he talked about, there was something mentioned about when you asked how, if they are taking this entrepreneurship through schools, from that very young age, when children are taught these things, you know, when you have a child's brain is very quick to adapt and very creative.
Yeah.
So when children are brought up at that very age to an adult stage, it's opened their minds to much more creative aspects. So creativity is very, very important. Then innovation. So if, like say, we have something that's, say for example, a phone, for example, now, there are other creative ways to make it better than it already was.
Yeah.
If you check from how it was from years down to this, we were using normal phones, then now we're using Android.
So it's more like an evolution.
Yes. So it's all has to do with creativity and innovation. Yes, the competitiveness will always be there, but a country, okay, other countries, they foster the creative aspect of their entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Which is what Nigeria needs to do.
Okay.
Foster the creative aspect of entrepreneurs, the ideas that we have. Then also put resources into it, create good infrastructure.
All right.
Give entrepreneurs what they need. That is the only way they will be able to be in competition with other nations and even be above them.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Henry. It's still Flipside on Independent Television. It's time for another break. The program continues afterwards. Please stay tuned.
This is Ahwa Game, a popular game in Africa played by our ancestors to entertain themselves after each day of farming. It is also relevant in our coronation in Africa. It is a sport and indeed very interesting, as every seed had a role in the game. Playtime is 45 minutes per set. There is no age limit as long as you can spin aqua seed. Ayo or aqua game, known as the game of intellectual. This game requires a lot of mathematical skills. Aqua game is played with carved wooden box containing 12 holes.
Yes, it's still Flipside on independent television, and this is the final lap of the show. Now, I would like to ask this question, Deacon Matthew. There have been hues and cries in recent time for Nigeria to diversify its economy. Some persons have, cried out, saying that there's too much dependence on the oil, should I say oil generally, right? So people are beginning to say, let's explore other aspects of our resources, right? So how do you think entrepreneurs help to diversify a nation's economy?
Looking at the entrepreneurs from the artisans' perspective, it is said that the informal sector contributes about 40% of the Nigeria gross domestic product. That is from the artisanship, those that are working, in the informal sector, the micro, small, before you talk about the medium enterprises. Okay. So what do we mean by that? It is high time we look at it critically to explore every other means of national development, exploring our natural resources, adding value to them, making products that will be used locally and also exported, to get foreign earnings, and that will help us balance our payment deficit. A nation that imports over its exports will have balance of payment deficits, by way of becoming a dumping ground, depending on other nations, creating markets for products from other nations. When you consume them, you are creating, enabling environment for their business, for their industry to thrive. When you consume imported products, so you have to satisfy your local consumption, then sell abroad, export. Then when you sell abroad, you get foreign earnings. That foreign earnings comes into your reserve, boosting your national income accounting by way of raising that is deposit from gross domestic product. If your national income accounting, if your gross domestic product is not far high, compared to what you import, you have balance of payment deficit. And to correct that way is by way of diversification, diversifying your industries, what you produce, what you consume. Take it or leave it. If we are import dependent, we'll keep having this crisis. Oil is depending on, even the oil we are depending on, if we refine and sell abroad, it will be a starting point. Not that we are refining, we are still importing. As it stands now from the last record, we are still importing crude products from other nations. It will help us. Look at our national debt, far above 100 trillion. Where are we going from here? Both local and foreign debts combined. Where are we going? With all the natural resources, the reserve, crude, everything that we have. Look at our forests. Look at logs that comes from these places. There are resources. This bamboo, if you see, I watch a video, how China are making so much from this bamboo you are seeing. In fact, they are even producing synthetic material we use in the leather industry from bamboo. Wow. There's a way they will process it. It's amazing. So we invest in technology. The government should create if at all they don't even want to build industry, so to say, let them create the enabling environment. First of all, constant power supply, good road network, you know, let them put all of these things in place. You see Nigerians will be happy to work. Especially, will be happy to raise the dignity, the identity of the Nigeria character of creativity. Nigerians, we are not. Look at medical doctors all over the world. The best are Nigerians. One of the best. Let me not just say the best. Okay. You know,
you have every right to say the best.
You understand?
As a Nigerian that you are.
The engineers, the scientists. Out of every 10 or so, they said, but a good number, they are Nigerians all over the world making exploit. But when we come back home, there is insecurity problem, there is no power supply, there is no good road network. You know, these are frustrating. You understand? If I go elsewhere now and make all of this exploit, they will say, that guy is a Nigerian. The other time, the former president of all doctors in the whole world is a Nigerian. The Director General of World Trade Organization is a Nigerian. Look at even in medicine. You understand? So let government create one thing is so painful to me. One political party will come and go. The Nigeria identity remains. One political party will come and go. The value of our currency remains. One political party will come and go. Our debt profile is not in any way better off.
So are you indirectly calling for the depoliticization?
We should water down the politics that is surrounding our administration. All right. If my person must be there, your person that is not a technical in that area, you are pushing him there. The medicine he or she read, so to speak, you know, maybe through blocking, got the certificate, he will go and put injection in somebody's car. What do you expect? All right. So let the people that are skilled in that aspect, give them the enabling environment. Okay. My core value is in entrepreneurship, you know, creativity, you know, then engaging young ones, giving them reason to get it right. It's not all about Yahoo, it's not all about hookup. You know, give them the reason for value creation. And they will earn better than doing Yahoo. They will earn better than doing hookup. Okay. I tell you the truth. I know how I started and the position I am now. In fact, a Yahoo person cannot have the veracity, the vigor with which I talk sometimes. Somebody who is doing hookup, you know, wasting it, doing drugs. You cannot stand and defend your identity. Okay. So we must get the diversification we need. If at all government you don't want to invest, build the industry, give us security, give us good power supply. Look at solar now, it's coming into play, you understand? But it's expensive for many people to come back. Government can also subsidize. If the BDC or PSCN, they are not forthcoming, government subsidize, we getting solar. Okay. They can do it.
To make it affordable for everyone.
You understand? It's not just to increase allocation going to the states or going to local government. It's not enough. All right. There must be proper monitoring. Create an enabling environment for artisanship. You will see what we are going to make of Nigeria. If in 2 years, look at what is happening in some West African nations. Just in the space of 3 years. Look at foreign diplomats, they are seeking to go there. I don't want to mention name here. Give us 3 years. If we get it right, America will seek to come here.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Deacon Matthew. Now, I saw you nodding in agreement to what he said. Henry, you have anything to add to that?
No, really. Okay. One of the most important things is creating awareness. And one thing he said also is the having politics in the area, all these areas, that is what is causing this issue in every aspect. Normally, we're supposed to, okay, Nigeria has diversified into some areas, but because of the politics that are in those areas, we have not grown so much.
Okay.
So it's an issue. If we have to follow it properly, the way it's supposed to be done, we would have gone far beyond where we are. Yes. So.
All right, thank you so much. Now, you will agree with me that a lot of young people, you particularly, are passionate about entrepreneurship and craftsmanship, but there are lots of your peers who are not really interested in any of this. Some of them, he made mention of people young people who indulge in all sorts of vices, Yahoo boys, hookupians and the rest of them. But what do you think can be done, to, should I say, stir up their interest in entrepreneurship and craftsmanship?
It's to show them the value in it and also to create awareness. So in creating awareness, they need to know that there's a word that says the youth, they are the leaders of tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if
we used to believe that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow.
We're not leaders of tomorrow, leaders of
we are the leaders of today. Okay,
today.
Interesting.
So that's just the same, but we are the leaders of today. Okay. If we don't focus on what we have as a nation, the nation is not going to move forward. Imagine as a young person, everybody is focused on fraudulent activities and things that does not add to nation building. The nation will keep going backward and things will keep falling behind, and everybody will be looking up to other nations for so many things, instead of not realizing that we have so much here to offer so much resources. So it's putting our ideas and our resources into what we have through awareness, through giving value to showing it starts from the leaders. Okay. Showing our youth that yes, there is so much we have here, and this is you also find that there are lots of youths that have ideas, they know what to do, but just because of the kind of environment that we find, yes, okay. See that they are ideas, they are not nurtured, they are limited, and they go and do something else that they're not supposed to do. Okay. So it's about creating awareness, and also one thing that is important also is access to funds. Yes, access to funds, because it's a lot. Yes,
capital.
Yes, capital. Access to funds, then good infrastructure.
And all of these are the responsibility of the government.
Yes.
To a large extent. Yes. All right, thank you so much, Henry. It's still Flipside on Independent Television. We shall be going on a final break. The program continues after the break. Stay tuned. Yes, it's great to have you back. This right here is the final lap of Flipside on Independent Television for today. Now, this question is pretty important, if you ask me, because it has to do with people in the rural areas, okay? So there are lots of people in the rural areas who are really not so enlightened. They really don't know much about entrepreneurship. How do you think entrepreneurship will help reduce poverty in that area?
Yes, we talk about community-driven initiative. Like I heard about the representative, talking about empowerment through the CNG and all of that. And like my brother also said, the awareness, like some rural area don't have electricity or the means to which to hear what is happening through the electronic media and all of that. Okay. Then you take this sensitization down to those communities, But
in what ways do you do that? Do you organize programs? Do
yes,
you organize seminars?
Programs,
okay.
Sponsored by government officials.
Like local government officials or state?
Local government officials. They are the closest arm of government
to the
people. So they should be able to carry, like every local government chairman should have no business staying in GROA. You live around your community. You let them know, feel the presence of government around you.
Their locality.
You understand? You should be able to bring electrification projects, if not tying of roads, grade the road, that is for accessibility, then ensure that, in fact, do you even know that those serene environment that is close to nature is even healthy to man than living in air-conditioned house, air-conditioned vehicle, in fact, the street you walk, you want to even put air condition. But by the time you live in a cozy environment, close to nature, garden, you'll be better for it. But it must be furnished with, infrastructures, to keep life on, in those communities. And the local government chairman, the councillors, they should be able to bring the government closer to the people by way of community-driven empowerment. You understand? To inculcate, into those young ones around the spirit and the creativity of entrepreneurship. Because if they don't get it embedded in them from those tender age, by the time they grow up, it will be difficult to compel them, to constrain them into, like we are having in the tertiary institution, big boys, they want to play with their phone, and that is why I get it strict on them, during class. You cannot talk about getting skilled, acquire, then you are still, stopping it. There are times, you devote, I would say there is time for everything, you understand? So you must be able to organize yourself such that you go out there for what you want, and by the time you achieve your result, So government need to do a lot by sensitization, creating awareness, take this empowerment initiative to those communities. Don't just tell them to come to urban area. No, take it closer to the
grassroots. All right.
Create that enabling environment around them.
All right. Enough of what we think government should do. You as an entrepreneur, Deacon Ehiobo,
yes.
What have you done, in trying to, sensitize people, especially young people, on the need for entrepreneurship?
If I should talk more about myself now, it's as though I'm doing marketing.
Yes, I get it, but you can actually say it without
what we are talking about,
yeah.
We make young men and women, embrace their creative ability rather than getting into the fast lane that is dangerous, maybe by way of Yahoo, hook up and all of that. You can, Bible makes it clear, say, how shall a young man keep his way pure, keep his way clean? He said, the word have I hid in my heart, and I may not sin against it. So by the time you hear more of what will keep you creative, because he said the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. When we talk about wisdom, how much do you fear God? It must be taught in our school. Education is not just you go to primary school, secondary school, and university. No, it must start from the home. Must start from the house. The father and mother should, being mature to marry. It's not just by age, it's by intelligence. How much information do you have to pass on to your young one? It may not even be your biological child, but those around you. Like we have students in the university, I have my students in my office. What value, what orientation are you giving them? It's not about you have money to buy them food, you have money to buy them vehicle or buy them phone. No, even in the use of the phone, how do you instruct them to use it? Because the use of those phone can be disastrous, can be detrimental. But by the time you give them the right orientation, the information on the way to go, you see, he said, train up a child in the way he should go. You understand? The way he should go. It's a way, it's a path. So that when he has grown up, he will not deviate from it.
All right,
so
is that what you say you've been doing so far?
By the grace of God.
All right.
I should not praise myself here.
It's okay. Henry, what's your advice for young people who are really not so enthusiastic about entrepreneurship? Some of them are just so optimistic about getting a job after school. You are done with school now. Maybe you should start by telling us what you are doing for yourself you know, beyond waiting for the government to provide you a job? And what do you think young people out there who are still waiting for government to provide them with, you know, 9-to-5 jobs should do as regards entrepreneurship?
Okay. For me, I'm not really an advocate of for
9-to-5 jobs.
The government to do something for you. Yeah, because times without number, the governments have proven that, but they are still good.
Okay.
So for a young person, what I would say is, we all have something. God has placed something in us, so we should not limit ourselves to bring it forth. So it's one thing I believe in is to know what God wants you to do, what God wants for you, rather than just doing what you think is best. So knowing what God wants for you so that you can do it excellently the way He wants it. So, and you find out that you'll be guided in doing the right thing and not swaying to do the wrong thing. So for a young person, knowledge is very important. So if it's because of the limited knowledge. That is why each and every student, somebody studying, that the first thing they think of, once I'm done with school, I'll get a job and all that. And at the end of the day, they finish from school and nothing happens. 1 year, 2 years, you're still seeking for a job. When they have knowledge of what they are capable of doing, they understand the creativity of the mind, how they can make innovations.
So what's your word of advice to them now?
They should seek knowledge and seek the right knowledge. That is one of the most important.
So not all knowledge is good knowledge.
Yes, not all knowledge is good.
All right, seek the right knowledge.
And to add to that is getting good mentors. Those you look up to.
Just like you are to him.
By the grace of God. So if you keep rewarding touts, those who get it the gra way, you know, you tend to believe that remuneration comes from being gra, if I may use that word. So when we have those mentors, you know, advocate of good governance, good principles, you know, then you'll be able to get the good knowledge he's talking about.
So when you have mentors, you'll be able to get a good knowledge. All right, thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time on the show today. It's been an amazing show, and I have you to thank for it. Thank you so much, and I'm sure a word is enough for the wise. If you are someone who's looking up to or who's expecting to get a 9-to-5 job, it's not a bad thing, it's not a bad expectation, but there is need for you to be creative, for you to, you know, think along the line of entrepreneurship, because that's one sure way to ensure that you know, stay afloat in this economy that isn't so stable. My name is Harry Igboje, and until I come your way again, same time, same station next week, do the right thing, stay out of trouble, and bye for now.